my channel. Hello if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me on the video today of me exposing myself on YouTube with how many books I've bought on my shelves that I haven't actually read yet. So yes, this is going to be my entire physical TBR. This has been very highly requested since I did my bookshelf tour video, which I will link down below. Highly recommend watching that if you haven't seen it yet, because I did go through my entire bookshelf. I think I roughly counted 480 books, but that was before my book haul. And I think there was like 25 books. So we're talking about 500 books on my shelves right now. Let me just put a disclaimer out there and say there are a lot of books on these shelves that I obviously haven't read yet, haven't got around to reading yet, because I do buy books faster than I read them. However, I don't just buy books on a whim. If I've bought a book, it's because I love the sound of it, I like the author, I've loved the author's work in the past, or the tropes are my favourite, or something along those lines which makes me really want to read it. I don't just go, oh, that looks nice, and then buy it. I'm not that impulsive, but you could say I'm mildly impulsive in the respect that I have so many books on my physical TBR. The number I'm not ready to disclose just yet. But with that being said, it was very highly requested based off the back of my bookshelf tour video. So we're going to give the people what they want, and I'm going to expose myself for your viewing pleasure and show you how many books are on my shelf that I have not read yet. So first of all, I'm just looking at my shelves. Let me just put into perspective, okay, the shelves. So here we go. We're going to get all of these books down. And yeah, if there's any books that I get out and you are literally like, Poppy, you needed to read that as of yesterday, please leave it in the comments down below, because I am going to vlog finishing off my physical TBR. I'm going to start doing a vlog series of it, and I wanted to start off with your guys' recommendations of what books you think I should start with first. Let's get these books down. So the first book is Minx by Sophie Lark. I have actually tried to pick this up a couple of times. I know this is like a billionaire sort of like contemporary romance thing. Any books on here that I haven't got around to reading yet is not for any particular reason other than I've just got so many books to get through. I do really want to read this, I just haven't got around to it yet, but this is definitely a book that I'm saving for like a palette cleanser. Next up is The Darkest Temptation by Danielle Laurie. This is just the last book to read in the Maid series. I've just been reading them sort of separately instead of one after the other. I didn't love Sweet Oblivion, really liked The Maddest Obsession. I've just got this one left to read, which is The Darkest Temptation. Now, I do have the whole Darkverse series by Runix unread, so you know, The Predator, The Reaper, what's the third one? The Annihilator. Very friendly sounding names. Yeah, just haven't got around to it yet. Didn't think I liked Mafia Romance, but I really liked Gothicana by Runix. But actually, I've since read a few Mafia Romances that I really enjoyed, so I can't wait to read this series. This is a book that I don't really know much about, and it is Stolen Trophy by a.k.a. Knight. All I know is that it's why choose dark romance with a mystery, maybe like serial unalivers sort of subplot. I'm not entirely sure what this is about. I just thought, like, look at this cover. It is so dark romance, like, are you kidding me? This is the Hockey Gods series by S. Massery. The reason why I keep holding off is because I want to read these one after the other without taking a break, and I've just never quite been in this headspace or mindset of starting like quite an intense series. Now I have these dark romance books which are very kindly sent to me by the author Effie Campbell. I don't know a lot about them. I've got 4 books, I think there's 5 books out, but they're really pretty. Like the pages are actually coloured, which I think is so cool. I've got some books by Rena Kent in her universe that I still haven't read. So the Deception trilogy I have not yet got around to, but I am so excited because honestly I think Rena Kent is very fast becoming one of my favourite authors. I also haven't read the Thorns duet either, and then Throne duet, which is next up on my list. I also have not read the Legacy of God series yet, but I will very soon. Skin of a Sinner. This is just purely because this is very new to me. I literally bought this maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, so I haven't got around to that one yet. Then Hunt Me Darling by Marie Rose, which is actually on my TBR for this month, so if I get around to it, we'll see, but I'm very excited to read that one. I don't know too much about it, and I do like going into books blind. Then this is the Possessing Her duet, which is Once You're Mine and Now You're Mine by Morgan Bridges. Okay, some books by Amo Jones. So this is the West Beach duet. So the first one is called and then the second one is called Losing Traction. And I think these are like a rockstar romance meets motorcycle club. Not entirely sure, but again, really like Amo Jones. And this is the Midnight Mayhem series by Amo Jones, which is also on, well actually it was in last month's TBR, I didn't quite manage to get around to it on Falling. But this is like basically dark romance, spicy circus. and I don't think I have anything like that on my shelf. This is the second book in the Soul trilogy by Harley LaRue. Her Soul to Take is the first one, and then this is her Soul for Revenge. I haven't got the third one, which is Soul of a Witch, just purely because I didn't love her Soul to Take, so I'm going to see how I get on with that one before getting the last one. I have not read these two monsters of books, which is the two books that are currently out left in the Lord series by Chantal Tessier, so Carnage and then The Sacrifice. I mean, I love this series so much, but these books are huge, they're very chunky, and I know that they're going to be extremely dark, so I definitely have to be in the mood for those. Ivy by Daphne Perry, writing under a pen name of Willow Nash. This is also in this month's TBR. Going on to some more, you know, not so dark romance. This is Beautiful Graves by L.J. Shen. I think this is like a love triangle situation. Then, I can't believe I haven't read this yet. The Words by Ashley Jade, which is rockstar romance, second chance, enemies to lovers, all that good stuff. The Coldest Winter by Brittany Cherry. Again, this hasn't been read yet because it's relatively new to me, so it's probably not going to be at the top of my priorities for a while, but it is teacher-student romance, which I love. Vicious by L.J. Shen. I think it's like an academic bully romance, not entirely sure. Then Pepper Winters very kindly sent me Luna Mare, which is the first in a duet, I think. Luna Mare, and is it like Lunamar? I don't know how you say these, but anyway, a lot of people were loving it, so I'm very excited to read that. And then if anyone's familiar with the Entangled trilogy by R. Phillips, I've read the first book, but I haven't read the last two books, which is Bound and Fractured. These give very slightly that, they're very Ravenhood coded, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I didn't get around to picking them up straight after I read the first book, to be honest. I knew I was going to love it, and I think at the time I was probably in a bit of a reading slump, so I wanted to save them so I could fully enjoy them. Okay, going into some contemporary small town sports romances. This is Sugar Lake series by Emily McIntyre. This is she actually published this before the Never After series, and this is like a series of interconnected standalones following a group of friends in a small town, and it sounds amazing. I am very, very much looking forward to reading this. Iced Out by C. Ritchie's is like an hockey romance, I think. I have not read that many romances, but I definitely want to read more of them. I've got Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This has been on my physical TBR for the longest time, and being totally completely honest, I do not know when I'm going to get around to reading this, because at the time it sounded a lot better than it has since sounded. I don't know if it's for me. I think it's got amnesia trope in it. I don't love that. Two books by Liz Tomford, Mile High and The Right Move. I don't know why these have been sat on my TBR for so long, because I actually genuinely want to read these so bad. It's just literally one of those things where I just have so many books to get through that sometimes I have to be in the mood for certain genres, and sports romance isn't always the top of my list. Sticking on sports romance themes, so I've got Midnight Kisses. This is like a one night stand scenario, I think, with like the coach's son or something. And then Unravel Me, which is the last book out currently in the Playing for Keeps series, which I actually do kind of enjoy. Two books, I've read Long Shot, and then this is Hook Shot and Block Shot in the Hoops trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. I haven't read the last three books in the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, Hopeless, Reckless and Powerless. Last two books in the Kane Brothers series, which is A Long Time Coming and So Not Meant to Be. Just because rom-com isn't my favourite, but I loved A Not So Meet Cute. I think I gave it like 4.75 stars. So it's not because I don't think I'm going to enjoy this series, I just don't reach for it. I don't even know what the name of this series is. What's it called? The Miles High Club series. And then another one called My Temptation, which is Kingston Lane series. So this last one here is connected to these, but I have not read the Miles High Club series yet because I hear very mixed reviews, and considering it's contemporary romance, I'm just not sure. Also, I've got the This Man series by Jodie Ellen Malpass. I bought this back in the day after I'd read the Crossfire series because a lot of people were saying that these were very similar. I don't know, because for years I still haven't read them. Now, this is another series which is kind of new to me. It's the Tattered Curtain series by Greer Rivers. These are retellings, but not sort of like the, Greek retellings. These are like the Phantom of the Opera, dark billionaire romance, but this hasn't got a twist and I can't remember what it's after. And then a Medusa retelling with a twist as well. Really cool ideas, and I really can't wait to read them. These were very kindly sent to me by the author, so they're relatively new on my shelf, so that's why I haven't got around to them yet, but I am really excited. Not Acadia by Kerry Lake I also haven't read yet, just purely because every time I want to read it, I just don't know if I'm in the mindset to commit. Right, I don't know what it is this year, but because I'm not reading as much as I was the previous years, anything over 500 pages, I'm like, I don't know if I can commit to that right now. Shattered Hearts and Until I Get You. both haven't been read, but Until I Get You is actually on my TBR for this month as well, so we'll see if I manage to get around to that. I did start this in a vlog and then I kind of got about 80 pages in and I just wasn't feeling it. But do you know why? It's because I had a 5-star read in that reading vlog, and I just feel like when you find something that's a 5-star read, anything you read after that, it just doesn't quite hit. But I knew I would enjoy this if I picked it up at different times, so I've saved it. I haven't read this duet by Jennifer Hartman. I don't actually know what the name of the duet is, but it's Aria and Coda, and I think these are rockstar romances with very, very pretty, cute covers. But yeah, haven't read these yet. But again, these are new to me. I only got these a couple of months ago. I also haven't read these 2 books by Clarissa Wilde, which is Sick Boys and Evil Boys. These are meant to be extremely spicy, dark, wide choose romances. I've got Sovereign by Rhea Morris Edwards, which is a spicy, dark cowboy romance. And then I've got Paul by a.k.a, and then it comes with a novella, which is called Push. And I've got Taming Seraphine by Gigi Sticks. This comes with like a 3-page trigger warning list. And that's what I have to say about that. And then also, this is Monsters and Beauties by Jenica Snow. Again, this is new. This is a book which has got Beauty and the Beast, Little Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks and 3 Bears, but make it very dark and very spicy. All 3 of those books are in here. So this is the St. Mary's Rebels series. I haven't got all the books here, but this is Bad Boy Blues, and then we've got A Gorgeous Villain. By the way, the covers, these are some of my favourite covers. This is These Thorn Kisses, and then My Darling Arrow. Haven't got around to them yet, but I did only get them this year, so yeah. I have to prioritise books that I've had for a while. So I've got They Never Learn by Lane Fargo, and then Be Still My Heart by Emily McIntyre and Savar Miller, and then Tears of Tess, which is another book that Pepper Winters very kindly sent to me, and this is a dark romance. I've not read Saint and Sinner because I did not like Priest by Sierra Simone, so these have been sat here for so long, longer than I care to admit. I want to say about 2 years now. I don't know when I'm going to get around to them, to be completely honest with you, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Priest, so they're just going to sit on the back burner for a while. Also, Tryst 6 Venom by Penelope Douglas and Falls Boys, the last 2 Penelope Douglas books that I haven't got around to reading yet. And I know Pirate Girls, I think, has just come out, so I need to purchase that because Penelope Douglas is my favourite, well, top 3, I would definitely say, top 3 favourite authors. I think we're about halfway through. Right, so I haven't read the Hades series by Tate James. I've been meaning to read this for so many times, but honestly, I do not want to not have any more books left in this world. But I've recently found that I think she has other books in this world as well, so it's time to start the Hades series because it's been so long and I've been itching to start this. Some books by Lily Gold. So I haven't read Triple Duty Bodyguard, Nanny for the Neighbours and Faking with Benefits. I have not read Magnolia Park's Into the Dark yet. I'm actually going to save that for a reading vlog, which is going to just be like reading some of my most anticipated releases this year. Definitely going to save this for that one. Don't know if I'm ready for the emotional heartbreak from it. I think about the series every single day. Okay, so I haven't read this stalker romance by Sharon and Anne, which is called Pretty Monster. So 3 books by Jessie Hall, actually. Haven't read Kid, Hawk, or That Sick Love. It Ain't Me Babe by Tilly Cole. This is part of the Hades Hangman series, which I feel like the rest of the series just disappeared on Amazon. You couldn't purchase them anymore, so I don't know how to get a hold of the rest. But I haven't started the first one yet, so maybe I don't like it, and I don't want the rest anyway. But if anybody knows what happened to that series, let me know. So these books are by Karina Hale, or Hallie, I don't know how you pronounce her surname, so I'm very sorry if I'm butchering that. But it's the Dark Eyes duet, which is a dark vampire romance, which is Black Sunshine and This Blood Is Love. I love her stuff. She is also one of my favourite authors. I really, really enjoy her things. Blood Orange is one of my favourite books. And this is also another book by her, which is called Nightwolf, which I think is a spin-off from the same world as the Dark Eyes duet. And then also by Trisha Wolfe, I haven't finished off the Hollows Row series. So I read Lovely Bad Things and I was obsessed with it. But at the time, Lovely Violent Things hadn't come out yet. But since then, Lovely Wicked Things has come out. So I'm going to read them both back to back when I feel like venturing back into the world of Trisha Wolfe, because she is fantastic. Now, in terms of Kate Stewart, I haven't read the Bittersweet Symphony duet. These are meant to be rockstar romances. And then also One Last Rainy Day. For obvious reasons, if you've read the Ravenhood trilogy, will I ever read One Last Rainy Day? I don't know, because I don't know if I want to put myself through the heartbreak that comes along with Dom. I just can't. This is In the Grey by B.B. Reed, and Lilac was one of my favourite books of last year, and actually one of my favourite books of all time. Haven't read the Whitsex series by Ashley N. Rostek. This is also Why Choose Romance, but I think it also has like mystery subplot to it. These sound really good. I will get around to these relatively soon because I keep seeing 5-star reviews for this series everywhere. This is the Dirty Broken Savages series by Eva Ashwood. I read Filthy Wicked Psychos and I was obsessed with it, so I needed to get this series because I've heard really good things. You might be familiar with like Kings of Chaos, which is this book here. I'm gonna move on to a bit of fantasy now. So Iron Flame, haven't got around to that yet, but I did absolutely love Fourth Wing, so it's just that the book is just so big and I just need to be in the mood for fantasy. This is called The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. Not familiar with the author, but this is a fantasy and it sounded really good when it came out last year, so I thought I may as well get it. Tate James Books, which is the Valenchek Legacy, so this is Heist and Forgery, which I do have a full video of all my special editions if you want to see them in more detail, but yeah, these are stunning. And this is Upon a Frosted Star, I'll be honest. I did buy this purely for the edges. I'm just gonna put it out there. Then Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, again, lovely edges on it. And then I've also got Feybound, also a fantasy, not entirely sure. I kind of just bought it for the edges. Well, no, that's actually a lie. That's not entirely true because I do like the premise of the book. I just can't remember off the top of my head what it's about, and then the edges just drew me in even more. I haven't read Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas yet because look at this series. Seriously, look at this series. So I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait because I've read ACOTAR, I've read Friend of Glass now, so it is time to delve into Crescent City. I just feel like I'm gonna have to really be in a mindset and have like no plans and be able to really sit down with this series and take it all in, and I'm just too busy at the moment for that. And then also Zodiac Academy, I've got the first book because one of my friends very kindly sent this to me for my birthday last year. I have been seeing a lot of people talk about Zodiac Academy again because obviously the 9th book just came out and it really sounds like something I would love. I know it's supposed to be a bit trashy, but sometimes I love that. It is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. Again, this is another fantasy. I remember seeing Penelope Douglas put this on their story and say how much they enjoyed this book. And this is the Six of Crows duology, a series I have wanted to read for the longest time but kept putting off because it's YA. But who doesn't love this duology? Anyone who's read it loves it. Then I've got Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I think I watched one review on this like months ago and just decided to buy this book. And that is also fancy. I think it's meant to be quite witchy. And then this is The Night Circus. I think this has been out for a while, this book, actually. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but if it's circus vibes, I'm here for it because I just like things. I like things that are, you know, a bit different. Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which I'm going to have to read these very soon because everybody is raving about this. And I love Dark Academia. Then this is City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. Again, honestly, I was drawn in by the edges. Ignore me. I went for a phase in December time where all the Waterstones exclusive editions were just looking extra pretty to me quite clearly because I've got so many of them. And then also Throne of the Fallen, which to be fair actually is a fantasy that I do really want to read because I've heard really, really good reviews, but just as a bonus, it was the Waterstones edition. This is the A Touch of Darkness series. I think the series has a name, I'm not sure it's a trilogy. I bought this 2 years ago. It was one of my first recommendations I got off BookTok before I even had my own BookTok account. I just haven't got round to it yet, but I really love the Hades Persephone retellings. They're some of my favourites. Two Twisted Crowns. This is definitely being read soon. The only reason I didn't read it straight after One Dark Window is because it wasn't out yet, but One Dark Window was an absolute masterpiece. 2 books in the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert, which is Midnight Ruin and then Cruel Seduction. The last 2 books in the Never After series by Emily McIntyre I still haven't got around to reading yet, which is Twisted and Crossed, but the first 3 books I've really, really enjoyed. And then this is a book called What Lies Beyond the Realms by Ashley R. Donovan. This was very kindly sent to me probably last summer. I haven't got around to reading it yet, but the second book for this I know just came out, so when I'm back in my fantasy era, I'll definitely be picking this up. And I've got the first 2 books in the Kingdom of Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee, I think. I think this has got vampires in it, so I don't know why I haven't picked this up sooner, because anything with vampires in it, I needed it as of yesterday. Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson, but this is new to me, relatively new, and after reading Bride and getting in, like slightly dipping my toes into a megaverse, this needs to be done. A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I don't know if I'm ever going to read this book, I'm going to be completely honest. Now these are my sad book pile, which I bought them on a whim like a year ago and I still haven't read them. So we've got Pack Up the Moon by Kristen Higgins, which actually I love the premise of this story. I think it sounds beautiful. The Way I Used to Be as well. I'm actually going to do a reading sad books for a week vlog. just purely because I know I've got so many on my physical TBR that I do need to get through, so I may as well vlog it and we can all cry together. And 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. This isn't actually a sad book, but this is The Paper Palace, which is like a thriller, mystery, contemporary kind of romance thing. I bought this years and years ago and it's just kind of been sat here. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And I've got The Things That We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, and then If He Had Been With Me as well. This is really throwing it back to like 2022, 2021 BookTok. I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to reading these books. November 9 by Colleen Hoover. A Merry Little Meet Cute, actually this is like a Christmas read by Julie Murphy and Sarah Simone. I will actually read this, I do plan to read that. And then Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I'm just not a coho girl anymore, I'm really not. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. And then actually, this is a book I do want to try because I'd love to read a Mariana Zapata book, and this is From Lukov with Love. Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geisinger. 2 books by Gianna Darling, which is Lessons in Corruption, and then Welcome to the Dark Side. From Blood and Ash, I haven't read yet, just purely because there's so many books in that series, it's kind of overwhelming, but it's got vampires in it, so I feel like it's definitely something that I would like, but I've only got the first book, so we'll see how we get on with it before I commit to owning the rest. Also have not read the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher, and I have not read the whole Addicted Calloway Sisters series. I'm not going to get them out because they're just here. They are so heavy to carry, but I have not got around to that series yet. But it's giving me like, for some reason I feel like I want to read those in summer, so I think this year might be the year because I've had those on my TBR for like 2 years now. And then I haven't read Descent by Sam Mariano. This is like a dark billionaire romance, so I'm very excited. Basically the whole series but Brutal Prince, the Brutal Birthright series, the Kingmaker series, and then Anastasia by Sophie Lark as well. There we have it, guys. That is all the books on my physical TBR that I haven't read yet. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has taken me ages. I am sweating, I'm tired, my bookshelves are an absolute mess. You don't even want to see what my bookshelves look like right now. Don't forget to leave comments down below for any books in here that you think that I need to read so that I can do a getting through my physical TBR vlog, because we have got so many books to get through. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.